All right, let's call this meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. Time is 6:01 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance, if you'd like to join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, ready? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Avalos was not able to join us because I think he lost all the internet at his house during this wind. So he was trying to figure out how to get on there. He said he might be a little late if he's able to get it going. Item number 2, establishing a quorum. I have Commissioner Butler, Commissioner Santana. I still believe I have Commissioner Barnes.
Yeah, I'm here.
And Mr. Diaz is not on there yet. Item number 3, public comment must notify the board to speak on certain agenda items. 5 minutes. The public can comment by calling 915-213-3008 with the PIN code 785-332-347#. That's PIN code 785-332-347#. Consent agenda. Commissioners, anything you want to pull from consent agenda?
No, sir.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Barnes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Santana. Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
and Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Commissioner Avalos and Commissioner Diaz absent for this item. Regular agenda, discussing on communication report by Elva Ramos. Hi, Elva.
Hi, hello. Good evening, everyone. For
Hello.
the month,
Hi.
hi, hello. For the month of February, there were a total of 52 calls for Clint, 108 for Fabian, 93 for Montana Vista, 116 for San Elizario, 243 for Socorro, and 134 for West Valley. For COVID calls, Clint had 3 confirmed, Fabian's 6 confirmed, Montana Vista 4 confirmed, San Elizario 7 confirmed, Socorro 16 confirmed, and West Valley 2 confirmed. For fire marshal inspections, there were a total of 29 and permits issued 21. The report for no response not available was modified as per Chief Esparza's request. So what I did, I went ahead and broke it down into 2 sections, which is Monday through Thursday from 1800 hours to 6 a.m. And then for the weekend, it's Friday through Monday from 1800 through 6 a.m. For Monday through Thursday, for no response, there were a total of 6 calls for Clint, 1 for Fabian, 0 for Montana Vista, 6 for San Elizario, 3 for Socorro, 0 for West Valley. For not available, there were 0 for Clint, Fabian, and Montana Vista, 3 for San Elizario, 4 for Socorro, and 0 for West Valley. For the weekend, for no response, there were a total of 2 for Clint, 4 for Fabian, 0 for Montana Vista, 3 for San Elizario, 2 for Socorro, and 0 for West Valley, totaling with no response to 27 calls. For not available for the weekend, there were 0 not available for Clint, Fabian, and Montana Vista, 1 for San Elizario, 0 for Socorro, and 0 for West Valley, totaling to 8 not available. Are there any questions?
Commissioners, just to give you a little touch base on what Ms. Elva Ramos said on the modification of the run report. We looked at it. We found out that there was a little bit of the report that was coming out and was a little skewed, and not on any part of their fault because of the calls that were not being dropped in there. To this point, the 911 district is trying to figure out how it is that the calls are not being dropped into the individual departments. So what we change is right now is that she's keeping track of the times where the paid staff is no longer available. That's when the departments are actually supposed to pick up their calls and be able to respond. After that, that's where we're going to be looking at, because if the paid staff picks up the call, it doesn't matter really. That's what we're here to do, cover when they're not available. So the actual numbers that are coming out now is the actual numbers that they're actually missing. It's going to be a little bit better for them to look at the numbers. We did have meetings with a couple of the chiefs, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. But that's the way it's coming out. These are actual numbers they missed, and this has nothing to do with during the time any of the paid staff is available.
So one thing that's confusing me is, so for example, Clint has 6 under no response, and Sanelli also has 6 under no response. And this is only during the time between basically 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., right?
That is
So
correct.
it's under Sanelli, it says 1 call after 1800 hours. So what is the difference between that 1 call and the other 6?
It's one call is after the time where there's two crews down here that are there till 6 p.m. So even if those crews respond to Fabens or Sanelli, it's not being counted against them because we're covering the calls. So on this one, she's keeping track of after that time which ones are the ones they're actually missing. Remember last meeting, the chiefs were arguing that they're getting called for calls that we're picking up and they're not getting credit. This is actually all the calls that they missed and nothing more.
So Roger, I have a question. This building is the 1 call after 1800. So the 5 calls were during paid staff hours, or?
Yes, but they might have been on another call. So if you look at Socorro, so the 2 departments that are still available till 6 is Socorro and Clint. So if you look at them, they might have been on another call. So that's why they didn't respond on that call. Again, we're keeping track of what's being picked up by them and also what's not available.
All right, I'm just not sure if it's a fair representation, because I don't know if Clint's calls, all of Clint's 6 calls are after hours then? That they
Alva,
missed?
is that the way you put your report here?
For Clint, it would be between the times of 1800 to 6 a.m. That's the
So,
only times that are being accounted for.
so Santa Ellie only missed 1 call then, between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., right?
San Elisario for the weekend, or you mean Monday through Thursday?
I'm seeing,
Yeah, it says 6 and then in
Monday through
parentheses,
Thursday.
1 call after 1800. So what does that mean?
Okay, so what I did the top, I did during the week, and the bottom is during the weekend. So that 1 call that you're talking about, is it the not available for the weekend for San Elisario?
No,
No,
Monday
it's
through Thursday.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's on
I'm
the
sorry,
Monday
Jackie.
through Thursday.
Because for mine, I have 6 and 3 for San Elisario.
But you
Right.
put a little parentheses, a little comment there next to
Oh,
it.
that was for my records. I'm sorry. I think I sent the one that wasn't corrected. I apologize for that. Because the
late now.
corrected one, I'm sorry?
Too late now. No, the question I have is, so speaking for San Ellie, or not for, speaking of San Ellie, I mean, so they only missed 1 call.
No, they missed six calls and then 3 during the weekend. That's what you said.
Okay. But for the no response of Monday through Thursday, out of the 6, how many were paid staff? How many were
No,
volunteers?
all of these calls are only Sanelli volunteers.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
I apologize for my mistake.
No,
Sent
you're
the
good.
other report.
All
No,
right.
you're good.
So we should disregard the parentheses then.
Yes,
all
ma'am.
the same.
Yes, please do so.
Any questions, commissioners?
No, sir.
Give me 1 minute. One of the chiefs wanted to join in. They want me to repeat the number. The number is 915-213-3008. The PIN code is 785-332-347#. That's 785-332-347#. Item number 6 for info only. Item number 7, discussion on report by Chief Esparza. Commissioners, I've had a busy week. I'm going to give you a quick rundown. I put a couple of bullets out there for you all. Number 1, ESD will be administering, along with the Texas Department of Health, 800 vaccines on Friday the 13th in the Tornillo Fire Station. From what I'm being told, we already have 600 registrations by today. This is the beginning of a little bit of a working partnership with the health department. We were authorized to be vaccinating site, as I said at the last meeting. They're still trying to figure out how to allocate the vaccines to us. We are going to be targeting the homebound people. We are going to be targeting everybody else in the afternoon, but our target is to go to the people that can leave their home and go vaccinate them at their homes. So this is the beginning of I think what's going to be good for the community. So this starts on the Friday the 19th. We got 800, so hopefully it goes really good, and we'll go from there. Number 2, we had meetings with Socorro, Anthony, and San Lisario, the cities, and we're pending on Vinton and Clint. They're wanting to jump on with us, and that'll be one of the agenda items. They want to provide funding so that we can hire some part-time people, that we can create more teams so that we can vaccinate out in the municipalities that they cover. So that's one of the items. Ken is working on the contract to make that happen, because this is CARES money, so it will have to use for that, and that's looking really good. And I think Wally's on the line. Wally, are you on the line? No, he's not. But I think the county's also receiving money. I did get a text from Wally. They're going to make some of that funding available to us so that we can hire some more people, so that we can put people out in the unincorporated areas of El Paso, which is Montana Vista, Canutillo, Westway, teams, so that we can vaccinate those areas. So that's looking good. Our next target area is going to be Montana Vista, one of the biggest rural areas that we have. And we're trying to come out there. But if we can get these teams going, then we will be out of all the major little cities that we cover, providing the vaccines to the public. Any questions on that one, Commissioners?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Number 3, the first 18 trucks have arrived. The first 4 are already getting outfitted. It's moving along. We're trying to multitask here with the maintenance department to get them all up and running. As we push out the new trucks, we will be picking up the older units. I will have a list for you all to approve, Commissioners, for us to dispose of them. We will be selling them in Gov Deals at this moment. That way we can have control as to it's a public sale. It's being auctioned. We have nothing to do with it. All we have to do is post the pictures, and once it takes off, it's up to the public to bid on them. We also had a meeting with the chief from Clint and Fabens, and I think they're on the line. They were asked to provide us with a little presentation of how they want us to help them with recruiting. I think it went well. A couple of them did submit their requests. It's very doable for us. I think we're already working on one of the requests of a couple of banners, and then we also assisted them on creating some flyers that look a little bit better. I think they're posted on our Dropbox, so you'll be able to look at them, and they'll let them speak when their agenda comes up on the meeting. Again, we are waiting for our first allocation of the vaccines. The health department, the senior people in the health department, they're checking into our account to see why we weren't allocated any this go around. But even the county judge is involved in that, so we're trying to make it happen. Again, we also met with dispatch. We went over the missed calls. We made a couple of changes, and we'll look at it again if it looks a little different. But the most important part is that the 911 district did acknowledge that we are not getting all the calls. If they go unanswered, they're not being dropped into their emergency reporting. So that's one of the bigger problems, that the numbers were not coming out correctly. So we are looking to fix that. Any questions, Commissioners?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Item number 7 for informational purposes only.
Hey, Roger, I just have one question. Is there funding for some of the marketing? I know Chief did a good job on that, and I know you guys did even better, but I know there's some marketing out there that or does county have anything internal to them?
I'm sorry?
Does county have any head of a marketing branch, or lack of better words, that they?
No, no, as a matter of fact, so our staff did an amazing job. You saw the
Oh,
flyer.
they
they
did a good
created,
job, yeah.
And we're gonna market, as a matter of fact, they created a flyer just for the district. It's gonna encompass all our volunteer departments. We also, part of that is that we know that the chiefs are not able to answer people's emails right away. So we created an email address, recruiting@epcountyesd2.org, where people can email us that they want to join one of our departments, and we'll point them in the right direction. We'll guide them to how to get there. Now, it's like I said during the meeting, Commissioner Barnes, is we can only guide the people there. It's up to the chiefs to look at them and try to make something out of these people. We can't recruit them, hire them, and put them there, and then, just let them go with it. So it's we're going to try to help them out as much as we can. As far as the advertisement part, I think those are all doable under our budget. We can buy some banners that they're requesting. I don't think that's a big issue. They're not that expensive, so we can definitely buy some for the departments that are lacking them.
Fair enough.
All right. Item number 8, discuss and take action on the purchase of bunker gear from Dayco Fire Equipment in the amount of $28,890 from Montana Vista Fire Department. Chief, this order was, this order was placed by Montana Vista way back before we took over. It was pending. We received an order and we were trying to figure out how it is a budgeted item. We haven't used any or a lot of this amount. So this is something that is allowed and we don't have to get any bids on it. So I'd like approval to put these bunker gears to use.
Make a motion.
Make it,
Second.
Commissioner Diaz
Aye.
and Commissioner Diaz was the motion. Commissioner Butler was the second.
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
aye.
Commissioner Avalos was absent, motion carries. Just for the record, Commissioners, at 6:04, Commissioner Diaz joined the meeting, the way it's recorded. Item number 9, discussion and action approving the recurring subscription with Backdraft OPCO LLC emergency reporting for all fire departments and in the amount of $16,483. I believe Mariana received the invoice for emergency reporting that all the departments use, and total is $16,000, correct, Mariana?
Yes, correct. That'll come out of dues and subscription expense account. And we do have it in the budget.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Move to approve.
Second,
Commissioner Diaz and Commissioner Butler will be the second. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes,
aye.
and Commissioner Avalos is absent. Motion carries. Item number 10, discussion and action on the 2021 polling place agreement with the County of El Paso. Commissioners, on this item, it was sent to Mariana. I did have a talk with the lady in charge of the polling. In the previous elections, we've had issues where people are constantly calling here because they're fighting amongst the different organizations there. I try to address it with the elections department. They pretty much told me that's not something they handle. That's not in their purview. It's our facility. We should handle it. And again, this is not something that is in our purview to be handling somebody fighting or putting trash in our facility. We did have a talk. This was an election. This election only is for the San Elizario school district, is what I'm being told. But I think we should look at the fact that we have to spend a lot of time trying to put out these fires for them, and it's not working out for us, and they don't want to take responsibility for it.
Hey, Chief, back in the day, they used to do it at the school district. Why aren't they doing it at the school district anymore?
I asked the same thing, and it's because they also had the same problem, and they kind of told them to go somewhere else. So all they can tell me is that under the elections codes, they're not allowed to get involved, but it's not something that it should be our responsibility if we're just loaning the building. So I did ask them if they can hire security and people to clean up after our station because they leave their trash there. They go disrupt our landscape. And they're like, well, the short answer is no. So this is something that for the next election we should look at. I think this election, if it's just for the school district, it should be pretty quick and easy. But for the next election, this is something you all should look at, and we will present it again once we get the clarification from them. They are looking into it to see how we can make this work.
And this is for the school district, for the board
That's
of,
what I was told. That this election is only for the school board members of the San Isidro Independent School District. So special.
You know,
election.
it's interesting because in the contract, it says owner will provide the polling place in a clean and orderly state. County will return the polling place in the same condition. So
They're talking about the
technically-
inside. They're talking about the inside of the building. That's what they told me.
so what you're talking, what we're referring to right now is all the trash that's on the outside.
It's
All
when
the-
they, all the
thing that
the-
gets thrown.
Yeah,
when they're there campaigning, they leave their food there. They leave their trash there. They leave all their signs there for us to go pick up, for us to clean up. They trample all over our landscape. So that's what we're talking about. And they're telling us they're leaving their area clean, but they have nothing to do with the outside. It's just something for you all to consider, commissioners. That's why I'm bringing it up to your attention. It's every year I get phone calls. I have to go down there because, as a matter of fact, this year there was a Sheriff's Department investigation where we had to go over there and look at video because people were claiming that either we or somebody was taking down their signs. Turned out it to be the wind, but it's just something that we don't have the time to be doing. It should be them handling all their complaints, and it's as I'm being told, it's not something they do.
Wow.
For this one, commissioners, do I have a motion?
What would the motion be, though?
To allow them to use our station in San Isidro for the 2021 polling place agreement for the school
For
district.
protection.
Is there any, way you can talk to the school district and tell them that'd be fine, but, you know, have a stipulation in the contract that they
Well,
can,
again, Commissioner Diaz, this is not something that we get involved because we're not the ones holding the election. It's the elections department that has to talk to the school district to try to get that to happen. So they were calling the school district to see if they can send one other security guards there, and two, they're cleaning people to pick up after their trash and make sure our facility is back the way it was. So they haven't got back to me. The last email I have from them is the particular election.
okay, all right.
Motion to approve for this next election.
A motion by Commissioner Santana. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz,
aye.
Commissioner Butler,
aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
and Commissioner Barnes.
All right,
Commissioner Avalos is absent. Item number 11, discussion and action on all fire departments that are not meeting the 93% call response per month. Department chief shall submit a plan for assistance to meet the standard. Commissioners, like I said, we discussed it a little bit earlier. The chiefs did submit something. We kind of helped them out a little bit. If you can see the actual banners, flyers that we made for them, kind of make them a little bit better. Chief Cordero was wanting to have his number, his email, so he will be receiving that. We won't be involved in his, so he will be doing all his recruitment and pretty much handling everything. For Fabens, he did request that we helped him out just to make sure that somebody gets an answer. So our recruitment at epcountysd2.org and our office number there, because we are here Monday through Friday, and we will answer their questions and try to point these people into the right departments or in the right direction. And even Socorro is now looking to also join in. They're They're recruiting, but if they're full the capacity, because I believe Chief Sariana said they're at 52 right now, and I think that's the most he wants. He's going to be referring to other departments, so that's a good thing. I think we can make it work, commissioners, with the funding that we have without breaking the bank and assist these chiefs. Again, this will be something they will have to put the effort into it themselves to try to recruit and retain them.
Where are these signs going to be posted, Chief?
The flyers that we made for them, Chief Cordero, are you on the line? I don't think he's on the line. Hold on, he's calling in. I believe what he's planning is he's going to be holding like a recruitment event at one of his stations or down in downtown Clint to try to recruit people and then try to pass out the flyers. That's why he's looking for the banners and little things that we're going to give out, to try to get the younger population to join up, and hopefully he can get some recruits in there. As for Fabens, they're going to start passing them out. It's going to be a lot of social media to try to recruit some of the personnel that they need. Any other questions, commissioners?
Where are we going to be investing some of the money? Where's our money going to go into?
We're going to buy the flyers. Of course, we're going to pay for these pamphlets that we're going to give out. And of course, we got to buy some little goodies because that's how you attract the younger generation. We currently have here at the district level, we have the little footballs, the little chargers for their phones, stuff like that we can make available to the departments to hand out, because that's how you get people to swing by and maybe they want to join, get to talk to somebody. But again, this is all going to be in the departments. All we can assist is when we have people call us or email us, we will point them in the right direction to try to guide them into getting there.
Sure.
Hello?
You there, Chief Cordero?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead.
What questions did you guys have?
How do you plan to spread out these flyers, and how do you what is your plan for this?
So just to touch base on, good afternoon, first of all, commissioners. To touch base on, to touch base on the email that I had sent, we're trying to go around the city of Clinton and just post these posters, especially like at the most busiest places like the Family Tree, the Dollar Tree, the Dollar General, the convenience stores. We actually are in the process of also coming up with open house, so they can come in and see the equipment, see the uniforms that we wear. So maybe we can spark a little inspiration on this young generation and hopefully get them into the fire department. And just a word of mouth, and as far as social media too, we're planning to post the poster as well, and at least do it a couple of times during the month, and hopefully we can get a turnout out of that too as well.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, that's a good plan, but I will challenge you that whoever you get that signs up, please make sure that there is a follow-up as soon as possible, within 24 hours if you can. I know that there's been people before that have signed up and never gotten a response, Chief. And I'm not pointing at you, at other fire districts, at other fire stations. So, just make that a priority.
Oh no, absolutely. As a matter of fact, my FTO, which is the one that's in charge of the new candidates are coming in, he's going to be one of the ones that is going to be chiming in on this part. I've talked to him as well, and I told him, as soon as we have an application come in, he's going to be the first line of contact. get back to them as far as that, and then we keep because and then that's the issue that I know that there was in the past that people were applying and previous, I guess, administration, I guess you can say, would never reach out to them, and I would get the thing later saying, yeah, well, I applied, but nobody called me. So.
All right, good deal.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
No, sir.
None.
None.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe and
Thank you,
make
Chief.
sure you guys. No, thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Hey, Roger, I just got a question on recruitment. Have you ever tried El Paso Community College? I know they got a fire program down there. Is that something
We
that's,
do. We do. One of my volunteers is also one of the instructors for that college. So we're trying to recruit people. The thing that I don't want to get involved is because that's one of the things they asked is why don't we pay them to teach our guys there? But they want like $6,000 per member to teach them to be a firefighter, which is something we can do here for a cheaper rate, sending up to New Mexico State Firefighters Training Academy. So I don't want to have a little conflict there. That's why we're trying to figure out how to recruit those individuals and let them know that we, the district, does fund a lot of the certifications that they're currently going to do. If they volunteer for us, while they're going to through their training, hopefully they'll stick around because they'll see that we can help them excel in their career. And that's one of the things that I've always seen, and I'm just saying it because I came from West Valley, is that they always push for that's how you're going to get a job with El Paso Fire, and that's what we should push for everybody out here because you'll get a little bit more of a incentive to recruit people for this particular one, and we'll get them not only the training but the experience that they're going to need to be able to be successful if that's the path they choose to go.
all right. Because I know there's other venues like El Paso. I mean, I think Chief's doing that. Got it. Is I think hanging up a piece of paper at 7-Eleven is not going to recruit the same quality or resource that we're looking for versus trying to get El Paso Community College. I like your approach there as they continue their career and their journey in the firefighting. That'd be a good start point to pull from. But I don't know if there's other points that I want to go down to Camp Santana Station and start recruiting, put some signs up, but but I'm saying is there other venues out there where we could pull people interested in it, like where those fires are,
I think one of the things that we should have looked like, and of course this year has been a different year, but the career day, we always do career day for the young kids. But I think in the months to come and the years to come, our focus should be on the seniors that are coming out that need a path of a place where they feel that they belong. And I think that's where we're going to push, even in the fire marshal's office, to push that this is even though if it's volunteer, because of course, a lot of the question is going to be, what do I get in return? One, there's no pay, but if you do your time, we will get you certified where you can get into the El Paso Fire Department as a career. And a lot of the young generation just needs a path to get there when it's not going to cost money, and because a lot of them don't have the funding to do it. A certification right now at El Paso Community College is costing $6,000-7,000 to get it. So we can encompass that way cheaper and get them certified. They'll look at this as a good avenue for them to go. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be pushing for us to do also, is to try to recruit straight out of the seniors in high school.
Gotcha.
Commissioner, I think item 11, informational purposes only. I don't think Chief Reyes or Chief Calzada are on the line. Are you all there?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
Yes,
there you are.
Chief.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, commissioners.
Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Chief, how you doing?
Sorry about that. Just first time trying this out. We'll also have a plan. Like I emailed you, Commissioner Barnes, Commissioner Santana. We looked at our numbers. We followed some of your recommendations and advice. I worked with Roger to work on that flyer. Well, another thing we're planning on doing is kind of like a meet and greet at the station to invite the community, you know, give out hot dogs so they can meet the members, and also we have the opportunity to recruit. The biggest thing that we found out we're now able to do is an Explorers program. We've had so many 16, 17-year-olds that come into the station, and we've always turned them down because we thought 18 was the minimum age. We're currently working, myself and Chief Calzada, my officers, to start this Explorers program. We do a career day for Fabens and Tornillo, and it's now a great opportunity to say, here's an application you can join now, instead of letting them know like, hey, you got to wait till you're 18 and then you can join us. So we're also promoting on social media, and hopefully we can get the banners. You know, we'll be posting around our station and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. You guys have any questions for me?
None.
No, sir.
I
No,
like
sir.
your
Yeah.
plan, sir, and the way you're getting your people involved there, Chief. That's awesome.
That's good. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Chiefs, Commissioners, just so you know that Chief did ask me about the Explorer program. If I recall, our insurance does cover that. They even have an extra plan just in case, as long as the Explorers are not allowed to fight fire or have patient contact, they could be part of the Explorers program because they're not of age and they do need parental consent. So as long as we follow those rules, and I do believe our VFIS has the documents that they would like signed to make sure that they were covered. So we will be getting them all that information to ensure that we're covered.
Nice.
So, Chief, what I'm hearing, and I have choppy service here right now, so sorry if I missed something, but it basically recruitment is the biggest issue and obstacle that was identified by the chiefs.
Yes, one of the biggest things that, and we've seen that all along, we have people trying to join, but they don't have a way to either communicate or get in touch with that department, or they don't like it. Of course, not everybody's going to fit into a particular department, but again, that's why we created one for the district recruitment, because we can steer you in the right direction to a different department. If you're not a fit for this particular department, we can place you somewhere. But again, Commissioner, one of the things that we did talk about, Commissioner Santana and Commissioner Barnes, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that we addressed the fact that we can guide a lot of people there, but we can't make them take them as members because they don't actually work for us. Okay, that's not something that. So recruitment is the biggest issue there. A lot of the chiefs were afraid that, well, we're going to pay for their education and they might only be there a year and a half, 2 years, which is fine. The average of a volunteer is 2 years. The percentage as you go up in time, it starts dwindling down. So we pay for somebody's ECA, EMT, and we get 2 years out of them. I think the community was well served for $500 or $1,200 that we paid for that class, and maybe we steered somebody in the right path to become a better person in society. So I think it's well worth it.
Okay, but just to be clear, there were no other kind of discussions about processes or procedures or improvements that could be made. It was just about recruitment.
Well, one of the things that we did address as far as the missing calls, Commissioner, is that they don't have the manpower. The main issue was the manpower, and again, that's why we pushed them to recruit, because the more manpower they had, the lower the amount of responsibility that each member would have, and that way it could be broken down into more members instead of the same 5 taking all the calls and then not being able to answer them because you have family. We did understand that, and that's one of the things that I think Commissioners and I made it clear. We get it that you have your family gatherings. We don't want you to miss your family gatherings, but if you had more members, you wouldn't have this problem. And of course, the 2 departments that we discussed with, the ones that are missing the calls, I think they've been at a 13 to 15 member, if I recall, for the last 6 6 years. They've dwindled. They stayed there. They haven't recruited people. They've lost people. They've gained some people, but they've stayed at the same amount. And I think every department would be a little bit better if we trained EMTs or ECAs and firefighters to get to that level so they can make a little bit more calls and relieve some of the stresses from the rest.
So based off of this new reporting structure that we have between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., is that what we're going off of for this, I guess, improvement plan for
Yes.
each
Yeah, so
fire department?
one of the things that we talked about with Commissioner Santana and Commissioner Barnes is I don't think the departments should be penalized if any of the paid staff picks up a call, because obviously that's why we're here, to augment them when they can't, and we get that, which is from from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. when we have staff, especially down here in the valley. So that's why we made it only from the times that they are supposed to take over when all the paid staff is gone, so that we can keep track of where they're lacking the responses, where the actual calls are being missed. And that way we can try to help them out as to recruit a couple more people. Like I said, they're missing 6 calls. Imagine if they had 5 more members, they could take, 1 call each. They would be down to 1 call. So it's just a matter of having personnel.
So is this going to be evaluated on like a month-by-month basis, or how is it going to work?
I think we should give them a quarter to see how many people they recruit, and of course, us as a district will have to look at how much is going to end up costing us. We do have a budget for training. We do have a budget for personal protective equipment. We just have to be cautious as to how are we going to buy all these individuals, all this equipment, because one of the things that we ran into with a lot of the chiefs is they want to get an individual and buy them everything right away. And as per our policy that we have, we don't do that. First, we want to make sure that individual is going to stay here. We don't buy them uniforms. We don't buy them pants until we see that, whatever their process is. A lot of the departments, believe it or not, they're evaluating their process, and I'm going over the SOGs that we put out to them because some of them are outdated. Some of the processes are outdated now, so we will be looking to present to you all hopefully within the next month and kind of make a tweak the system a little bit, so they're allowed to get a little bit more people, and we can fund them a little bit more people, and without making it as complicated as we have it. Any other questions, commissioners? And I'm sorry if I'm breaking up too, because I see my computer like freeze. I don't know if it's you all or me, but I do see it freeze. So we'll keep an eye on this, and when in the next 3 months, we'll look at it. If they need help, we will be reaching out to them and seeing how they are doing. But we will keep an eye tabs on them to see how whatever else they need to make it happen. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Commissioners, item number 11. I don't think there's any action that you have to take unless you would like to for informational purposes only.
Okay.
Item number 12, discuss and take action allowing 12 members of the Montana Vista Fire Department to attend EMR class. Commissioners, they did approach me on taking the class. They're being very proactive as to one of our items in our contract that they must show that they're actively trying. They're trying to send 12 of their members. I just received just yesterday afternoon, I believe, the last quote. So if approved, there is funding for this class. I just got to go through all the paperwork of all the online classes, because the chief did send out what his request was going to be, and I don't see that that's an unreasonable request. He wants they want to cater to their members. They want to be able to make sure that their members are being taught at their facility on the weekends when they are able to go. Of course, this is 12 people. I've got quotes from EOTP LLC, one for $8,400 for 12 members, a price of $700 per member. Of course, I got to read that if it includes books, no books. So this is EOTP for $8,400. I've got one from, let me see. No, I saw it. I did see one that Life Ambulance just sent over to them, and they are coming in at 7,750 for 12 students. The state requires a 60-hour course to complete this coursework. Therefore, the class has 0 allowances for tardiness. So there's a lot for me to look at for what they submitted. Of course, they've been trying, but let me see. Here's the next one. Texas Public Service Training Academy came in at 6,000. And all they put was ECA course, no information, no what they're providing for it, nothing. So I don't know what to say about that. And the Pro Action came in at 3,500 for the 12 students. Textbooks are not included at 135, and the exam at 85. So again, but they did put what they're able to provide. And it doesn't say if they met the requirements that the chief put out there for Montana Vista. He was wanting just to go over a quick, the parameters that he put out there. Training agencies must be able to provide training for up to 12 students, minimum number of students. The training must take place in a hybrid form, both online and physical learning. Training must be compliant to the NREMT and Texas Department of Health curriculum qualifications and requirements. Training must begin March 15th and must be completed by April 11th. Physical learning must be limited to the weekends, thus must take place at the Saturdays or Sundays within the aforementioned dates. Physical learning must take place at Montana Vista Fire Rescue Station 1. And so they did put parameters. This is something that is good for them, and I think we should consider it.
And they do have enough budget for any of these 4, if they is within what they asked for. They have 9,770 available in training. But yeah, you need to check which ones are meeting the requirements they want. Looks like EOTP LLC is the closest, or the one that has more detailed description of what they're providing. The rest are very vague.
So I would like, if you all will do it, commissioners, approval for me to review this and go with the chief and pick the best candidate for them to have it.
Approval for you to go ahead and look it over, chief, and pick the best one that will be best for Montana Vista.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz, second by Commissioner Santana. Commissioner Diaz?
Aye.
Commissioner Butler?
Aye.
Commissioner Santana?
Aye.
And Commissioner Barnes?
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Avalos was absent. Item number 13, discussion and action allowing all department chiefs and assistant chiefs to attend the Texas Fire Chiefs Academy. Commissioners, after having the meeting with Chief Cordero and Chief Reyes, one of the things they brought up is that they were just thrown in there into those positions. So there's a Texas Fire Chiefs Association of Texas. They do put in a Texas Fire Chiefs Academy. It's a week-long academy. And I did put the information on there. It's either in June or September. That way they give two options. And this is just an option. Choose so that if they chose to go and get a little bit of more training of what they're supposed to be doing. I think it's beneficial for all of them to attend. But if not all of them have to, I think if they're lacking some knowledge or some of this, it's good. I might look at one of these. It is a cost of 1,000 plus the room and board. So I think it's a money well spent for a lot of these chiefs, and that way we can get them some training.
Are all our chiefs willing to take this course, Chief?
I think a couple of them will. The ones that were lacking a little bit. I think they'll look at it, and they have two options. They can either go June or September.
Okay.
Just wanted to put it out there, see if available. We do have the funding. It's part of training, so it's something that it's beneficial to them, and they're really going to go get an education out of it. This is a class they will have to attend. This is not a conference that they can attend and not show up, because there is a certification that's going to come with it. So it will be a class that they have to attend.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Have you discussed it with the chiefs yet? I'm sorry, Jack, go ahead.
No, I just made a motion to approve, but go ahead.
No, I'm here. I'm the motion to approve also, but have you discussed it with the chiefs at all?
I've talked to the ones that were needing a little bit of training, and they're going to look at their agendas to see if they can make it, their calendars. So I just wanted to make sure that we approved it ahead of time so that we can start doing that, as we as the district is going to plan all their trips. So I want to make sure that we get ahead of the ball game and try to make it. There is a couple of dues because it's for members of the Texas Fire Chiefs Association, which we will have to become members, but I mean, it's very minimal for the dues. And I think for the training that they're going to get, it's going to be an excellent thing to have.
Awesome.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Butler.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz.
Aye.
Commissioner Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Avalos was absent. Item number 14, discussion and action on the contract with the cities with an ESD2 for CARES funding assistance for additional staff for COVID vaccinations. Commissioners, as I said earlier, Ken is working on the contract. He's having to modify the contract, the same contract that the county gave us originally when they funded us. He's going to change that to show the different names of the municipalities. I would like permission for you all to allow Commissioner Santana, once it's ready, and it works out for all of us with legal, to execute this so that we can receive the funding. And of course, the next item is for me to be allowed to hire some temps EMTs, just like the city of El Paso is doing, so we can put these programs out there. We're putting ESD number 2 in the forefront of not only the fire department. Now we're getting to an area that we really never got into, and it was a very needed. Like I said, the county judge, all the staff are really happy that we're trying to do everything we can to go out there. It's just phenomenal what we're trying to do out there. It's just we don't have the manpower, so they're trying to get us some funding for some temps, and I think this would be an excellent idea.
Chief, I make a motion on that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is that who was the second?
That was Barnes.
Second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz.
Aye.
Commissioner Butler.
Aye.
Commissioner Santana.
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 15, discussion and action on hiring temps for the vaccinations within the ESD number 2 territories. Commissioners, as I said earlier, depending on the funding, we've set requirements for all the cities, and we will be looking to hire some temps. The funding is from here till September, because as we get allocations, there will be not only the vaccinations, we will have to enter it into the vaccination registry with the state. So there'll be paperwork to do. All our staff here is doing a phenomenal job. They're ready to help. Even Mariana's team, we're looking at everybody, my team. Well, they're all part of our team, but they're going to be ready to take on the task at the beginning. But of course, we will have to hire some people to augment that. And that's where this CARES funding comes in from the county, the cities, everywhere else, so that we can make this happen. Like I said, right now, the first batch is going to go out on Friday. It was a last minute. I got a phone call yesterday, and we make it happen by Friday. And it's not like we're going to say no. Our communities need it, and I'm going to try to do everything I can to bring it to every community that we cover.
So Chief, is this related, is this related to number 15 or is it separate?
Number 14 is for you all to allow Commissioner Santana to go into a contract with the municipalities for the funding. And number 15 is for you all to approve me to hire temps to accommodate that.
But it's conditional upon funding, right?
Yes, the funding's already there. It's already been, I've got emails where they have the funding. They're just waiting on ours to send them the contract so that they can get it approved by their city councils. And we'll go from there.
And what's the plan for hiring the temps? Are we going to work with Gano HR, or is there a plan in place for that?
Yes, well, it's kind of the same thing as we do for the firefighters, except these all have to be EMTs. We're going to follow the exact same requirements the city's doing, so they hire a lot of temps. As a matter of fact, some of them, we're trying to get a pool of people that come over here, preferably people that are trained. And I believe we looked it up. Mariana, correct me if I'm wrong, the city was paying like $12. We're going to offer 15 because they're having to travel out to the rural communities instead of the one location. So that will allow us to get a little bit of better pool. But yes, we will go through Gano HR to review all the potential applicants. We will have to follow the same requirements that we have to, because we will have to list them as part of our EMT system until the time that we terminate their contract.
So Jackie, we did send the cities a budget of 15 per hour from here on to the end of September, of how much it would cost depending on how many employees we're gonna be sending or having. And we sent that to them, was it last week, I believe. So they do have the numbers available.
Okay, great. That was my next question, was the timeline. So thanks.
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Santana, second by Commissioner Diaz. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Avalos absent. Item number 16, discussion and action amending the fiscal year budget 2020-2021 to reimburse the fire departments for staff loss of wages due to testing positive for COVID-19 as approved on the regular meeting November 17, 2020. This will only be for the staff on the list provided by the department chiefs. Commissioners, you all did approve for us to reimburse up to $800. However, after talking to our legal, there were some concerns. And I think the concern was that we should not cut the check to the individual themselves. We would have to amend the budget to allocate as per their contract that any expense that they incurred could be reimbursed to them. So again, Ken, as per his conversation with me, is it's only if the departments incur that expense and you all approve it, we can amend the budget to allow that to happen. I think the total right now is like at 20,000, Mariana.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not too sure, but yeah. No, Socorro had 12, West Valley had 8, and then Fabens provided a few today.
So what do you mean by expenses?
In other words, so you all did approve for us to pay the volunteers $400 a week, $800 for 2 weeks. However, we should not, since they're not employees of us, we should not cut them the check. When we say expense, and this is one of the things that Ken brought up, is on our contract, we have covered that the district reserves a right to either approve or deny an additional expense. If we approved it under that line item, all we have to do is amend the budget to allow them to receive the X amount of volunteers in addition to funding. However, he made it clear that it's only once the chiefs of those departments have cut their individual members that check. In other words, they're incurring the expense themselves. We can reimburse the volunteer department because we are under contract with them.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a reimbursement of what they initially pay. We can't directly pay the volunteer. So therefore, the department needs to do the first process. The first step is paying them out. And then they therefore need to turn around and give us, here's the proof of payment, here's the backup information, the positive test result, which we already have pretty much all that. We're just going to be missing the part of where they made the check, a copy of the check, and it was processed through the bank. That's all. So it's just a reimbursement back to the department.
It's not like we're going to cut them a blank check for every member of their department. It's only for the time period that you all approved. We already have the list. Most of us are already been vaccinated, and whoever got it, got it. So I think the members that were approved back then, except this has to go through their individual departments, and that's the way Ken suggested it. We did it.
And the departments don't have any issues with that?
No, they're just waiting for us to tell them yes or no so they can do that.
Now, are they going to request the money for that individual, or?
Basically, the way that I'm looking at it is, just say, for example, Socorro had 12 members. They're basically going to invoice me for 12 members times the 800, and then submit all the backup copies of the check. And then I'm therefore going to do one full check to Socorro Fire Department. It's not to the individual. Socorro needs to do that on their end.
And we're going to receive feedback that the individual was compensated?
Yes, they'll have to submit the cashed out check, because that's the number one thing Ken said. We need to ensure that these individuals are receiving that funding and that the department's not going to just keep the money, which I doubt that they would.
I doubt any department would. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure these chiefs will do the right thing. No issues there. But.
And then just want to give a note to those chiefs that if they're listening, they do need to go and get an account and file a 1099 and all that information. So that's on their end, their responsibility.
Correct.
Okay.
Move to approve.
A motion by Commissioner Butler, second by
Santana.
and second by Commissioner Santana. Commissioner Diaz,
Aye.
Commissioner Butler,
Aye.
Commissioner Santana,
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Avalos was absent. Item number 17, discussion and action on fee schedule for the Fire Marshal's Office. Commissioners, we placed the fee schedule in the efforts of trying to be consistent with our counterparts at ESD number 1, because everybody's confused. They cut us the wrong amounts because their amounts are higher. We've matched theirs, so we've highlighted the areas that are going up, and it's only like by $5 in some areas. And one of the most important things that we added, because we just went through that, there's a verbiage in there that a full permit renewal fee for any expired permits, because we were challenged. I even had legal look into it because they said that we didn't have that in there. So, and legal kind of agreed with that. So if they let it lapse and they try to come back a year later that their permit was still good, it's not good. Once their permit lapses, it lapses. That's it. It's not like you can say it's good for 20 years.
Can you walk us through those changes specifically, Chief?
Yes, so the first project evaluation fee, the one change was the fee was $20 plus $71 for each inspection. Now it's $25 plus the $71. The second change was the smoke control systems installation permit went to $71 for each system. And $71 for the inspection. And then the final change was the adding the verbiage that full permit renewal fee for all expired permits, and that was pretty much it. We were having difficulty getting somebody that's mailing us a check for $5 and then we had to refund people or we didn't accept their check. So it just makes it easier in an effort to be the same. The only thing we did not copy, because I know that even the farmers here or the homeowners is the open burning permit. We kept it at 15 and I think theirs is at $25. So, like I said, we struggled with that permit at the beginning, so we don't want to go back to that. I think 15 is more than enough for the people to be paying out there for the burn permit. So it was very minor changes to this permit fee.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the changes.
Second.
But a motion by Commissioner Santana, second by Commissioner Barnes. Commissioner Diaz? Commissioner Diaz?
He's on mute.
Aye. Hey,
Commissioner Butler?
Aye.
Commissioner Santana?
Aye.
And Commissioner Barnes?
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner Avalos was absent.
I'm not gonna miss no meetings.
Commissioners, motion, can I get a motion to delete number 18 and 19? Oh, I'm sorry, number 18.
Not 19, 18. Can
Yeah, number 18 only.
motion to delete 18.
Second.
Commissioner Diaz?
Aye.
Commissioner Butler?
Aye.
Commissioner Barnes?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 19, discuss and approve the next meeting to take place on
April 20th.
April 20th at 6 p.m. Anybody have conflicts? We're all good with that?
Yes, sir.
Good to go.
I'm sorry?
Motion
That's
to
good.
approve.
Second. Now, when do we plan on meeting?
In person,
Stand teams, or
I'm sorry, Commissioner Barnes?
is there a plan to go meet in person? Are we gonna stay on teams for a while, or is there any guidance from county?
This was a topic of, we were scrambling here at the district. They try to get everybody ready back to go to normal. I had to call Ken because he's been very busy with everything that's been rescinded as far as Open Texas. And so one of the things that we were looking at is that the governor rescind this Open Meetings Act rule. He was called by the Attorney General's office saying that as of right now, the governor had not rescinded this. So to continue with all virtual until otherwise told.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
So if for any reason you get that I sent you an email or something that it's now in person, that means he rescinded that order. The only reason we're able to have it is because he made an exception to the Open Meetings Act.
Okay.
And I believe the county is going to the same, the exact same, they're going to continue in line until it's rescinded. Any other questions, commissioners?
No, sir.
Commissioners, I'd like to, if you all have time, to swing by on Friday to the Tornillo station and kind of take a look. If you all have time, we will be there at 8 a.m. prepping to start at, I think the start time is 10 a.m. Like I said, there's already 600 people there. And if you'd like to join us, I think Judge Samaniego will be in attendance. Commissioner Holguin will be in attendance because they think this is a great thing our district is doing. We're in the beginning stages of the great vaccination participation that we're doing, and they're very not pleased, grateful that we're doing it. And not only that, they're going to send staff to assist us because this is something that we needed to do.
Hey, Roger, can you send out the details on that, or have someone send out the details, location, time, and all that?
Yes, I will. I will be sending them to you individually. Remember, you all can reply, so it'll be individually.
Thank you very much, Chief.
All right, German at 7:10 p.m.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Aye.
Take care now.